Hi, I'm Dr. Adam Millman. Thank you for watching. This is the second video on regarding the springtime and this beautiful tree behind me at our house in Las Vegas, Nevada. This tree is a symbol that the springtime is coming, that the winter is over, that the colder weather of the winter is about to be replaced by the more comfortable weather of the spring, and then eventually the even hotter weather of the summer. The springtime always follows winter. And in our own lives, we should view this as a symbol where the springtime follows winter. And there will be difficult things in our life, in our job, in our relationships, spiritually, financially, and these things do come to an end. Spring does follow winter all the time, every time. Now, some winters may seem longer than others, but spring always follows winter. And this reminds me, springtime reminds me of a wonderful lecture I'd heard by one of my mentors, Jim Rohn, and it's called The 4 Major Lessons in Life. 4 Major Lessons in Life. And he starts off by saying that it's good to study the majors. He said, have you ever noticed that some people don't get ahead as far as they'd like to because they spend major time on minor things? Major time on minor things will slow you down and hold you back. Better to spend more time on major things. So he says the 4 major lessons in life, and it's preceded by a statement that I think is very important, which is that life and business are like the changing of the seasons. Life and business are like the changing of the seasons. Springtime always follows winter, and spring is followed by the summer, and summer is followed by the fall, and fall by winter. And it's always going to be like this forever. Spring will always follow winter. And what that means in our own life in business is that sometimes it seems like we are going through a winter economically. Inflation, recession, depression, coronavirus 4 years ago this month. Most people suffered an economic downturn, but it eventually does come to an end. Economically, the Great Depression, other recessions that have occurred throughout the history of the country eventually do come to an end. Now, sometimes it seems like it takes longer, and it's always longer than we want it to be, but eventually it's followed by spring. Recession is followed by expansion. Difficulty is followed by opportunity. And sometimes the greatest opportunities occur right after and maybe even during a time of difficulty if we're able to realize it and see the opportunities within the slowdown, within the winter. But springtime always follows winter, no matter what, and it's always going to be like this. In our own lives, relationships, economically, spiritually, emotionally, with our friends and family, kids, spouse, it seems like often that the winter is going on too long, that's particularly difficult. You've run out of money, your relationships have soured with friends and family and coworkers, colleagues, but eventually this does come to an end as well, and we need to realize that. So life and business are like the changing of the seasons. The second statement regarding this is that we cannot change the seasons, but we can change what? We can change ourselves. We cannot change the seasons, but we can change ourselves. Better not to wish that the outside world is different than the way it is, that the seasons would be different, the winters last too long. Jim Rohn says that you can't get rid of the winter months by tearing them off of the calendar. It doesn't work. The seasons are the way they are. The economy is the way that it is. The administration, whichever one it is the way that it is. And these are things that we cannot control. We cannot control the outside, but we can control and we can change ourselves. He says that life does not get better by chance, it gets better with change. And we can start by changing ourselves. Since we cannot change what's outside of us, starting with as symbolically by the seasons, which we can't change. We can't change the rain, we cannot change the winter, we cannot change the wind, the temperature. We can't change any of these things, but we can change how we respond, not react. We can respond in a different way. We can learn, we can work on ourselves, we can choose to read different material, listen to different things, associate with different people, focus on different things, and we can change ourselves, which will change our surroundings, which will change what's going on in our lives. Not by chance, but by focused and disciplined, specific change. Not waiting for the outside world to change and be the way we want it to be, but to change ourselves and then to respond to what's going on outside of us, specifically the winter times, and then take advantage and make these difficult times into opportunities. The second, the first major lesson in life is that you must handle the winters. You must learn to handle the winters. And so the winter times are the difficult times that we have to get past. The second major lesson in life is to take advantage of the spring. I said in a previous video that we each have a limited number of springtimes to plant what we eventually want to harvest. The farmer has to plant in the spring if he wants to harvest in the fall. And whatever we reap is what we have sown. And if we want to have a better crop, we need to plant better. We need to cultivate better if we eventually want to harvest a better crop. So the second major lesson in life is that you need to take advantage of the springtime. Opportunities, the springtimes keep coming and coming and coming, but what you have to do is take advantage of them and not let the time pass you by year after year. If you have an idea, get started on the idea. Don't wait for another spring to come, another year to pass. We each have an expiration date on us, stamped somewhere, but none of us know where it is, and none of us know what it says. But to think that you'll have another opportunity year after year after year, eventually you'll get started on it. This is the disease called procrastination. I've said in a previous video that the diseases that I deal with in my office are severe, the physical diseases, but equally dangerous are the diseases of the mind. Procrastination, cynicism, skepticism, things like that will hold you back and keep you from your better future. So we each have a limited number of springtimes, we each have a number of fall. Let's take advantage of the springtimes, plant, get started so that you'll have a better crop in your life. Thank you very much for watching.